I'm 25, and for the last 6 years, I've been living with my older sister and her husband. At first, I never thought it would go this far. But one night, a mistake happened. A kiss, a forbidden kiss, and then another. Until that mistake became a secret relationship. I was young, confused. But more than anything, I felt desired. He told me he loved me. He told me I was different from everyone else. And I believed him. When I got pregnant the first time, I panicked. I told everyone I'd been assaulted by someone unknown. A lie, yes, but it saved me from shame. My sister, unable to have children, adopted the baby immediately. She loved him deeply, thinking it was fate. She even gave him her husband's name. But the truth? He wasn't the result of violence. He was born from passion, betrayal, and the man I loved was the father. Now, 5 years later, I've just had a second child. Another child by the same man. But this time, I claim the father was a random boy I dated. Another lie, because the truth is, I never stopped loving my sister's husband, and I'm still waiting for him to choose me. When I told my family I was pregnant again, everyone was shocked, but no one asked too many questions. After all, I had the reputation of being unstable, impulsive, so when I claimed the father was just a fling from work, they believed me. Only he knew the truth. My sister's husband, the man I couldn't let go of. At night, when everyone was asleep, he would sneak into my room. We whispered, we touched, and sometimes we cried, because we both knew it was wrong, but neither of us had the strength to end it. The second child was born with the same eyes, his eyes, and when my sister came to see him, she said something that broke me. He looked so much like my husband when he was a baby. I forced a smile, but inside I was shaking. Was she starting to suspect? Or was it just a coincidence? The guilt was growing, but so was the obsession. Every time he held the baby, I felt like a family, a stolen family, but a family nonetheless. And I kept waiting, waiting for the day he would say, I choose you, not her. But that day never came. My sister is everything I'm not. Responsible, generous, respected. She gave up so much for me, sheltered me when I had nowhere to go, raised my son as her own, without ever judging me. And me? I gave her betrayal in return. Every smile I gave her was a mask, every hug a lie. And the worst part? She still calls me her best friend. Sometimes I wish she'd find out, just to end this torment. But other times, I fear what she'd do if she knew the truth. Would she hate me? Kick me out? Take the children away from me? I don't know, but I'm not ready to find out. He, on the other hand, always plays innocent. He knows how to act in front of her, how to play the perfect husband, the perfect father. But at night, he belongs to me. Sometimes I ask him, why don't you leave her? He just looks down and says, it's complicated. Complicated. That word burns like acid in my chest. Because for me, it's not complicated. It's unbearable. And every day that passes, I feel like I'm losing my mind. Living in this house, under the same roof as the woman I betrayed, and the man I love. I watch them from the hallway sometimes. Her laughter echoing through the house. His hands brushing her shoulders. Their little gestures of affection that used to mean nothing to me now feel like knives in my chest. I start to hate her. Yes, hate. Not because she's cruel, but because she has what I want. What should have been mine. She sleeps beside him every night. He kisses her on the forehead, brings her breakfast in bed, tells her he loves her. And I'm just the sister, the guest, the mistake in the corner room. One night, I snapped. I walked into their room while they were asleep, stared at them in bed, my heart racing, my hands trembling. I didn't wake them. I just watched and whispered to myself, you're the thief, not me. Because in my mind, he loved me first. Even if that's not true, I started changing, dressing like her, using her perfume, copying her smile, trying to become her, so that maybe he'd finally choose me. But instead of drawing him closer, he started pulling away, and I started planning something darker. He began avoiding me. Less eye contact. No more late-night visits. I asked him if he was afraid. He said yes. He told me I was changing, that I was becoming dangerous. Dangerous? After everything we shared? After the children we had together? I couldn't believe he was abandoning me. Not now. So I begged. I cried. I even threatened to tell her. He just said, you'd ruin everything. Everything. What about me? What about our children? That night, I locked myself in the bathroom, held a razor in my hand. But I didn't cut. I just needed to feel something. The next morning, I acted like nothing happened. Smiled. played the role of the perfect aunt. But inside, a war had begun, because if he wouldn't choose me, then maybe he didn't deserve either of us. And if my sister found out, maybe she'd finally see me, really see me, not as her little sister, but as her rival, as the woman who shared her bed, her husband, her life. Since that kiss, nothing has been the same between us. We don't talk about it, but our eyes betray us every time we're alone. He avoids me during the day, but at night, his gaze lingers. And me? I burn with guilt, and something worse, desire. I try to stay away, to focus on my studies, on my son. But I hear his steps outside my door every night. Sometimes he stops, just stands there. Then he walks away. One night, I made a mistake. I opened the door. He didn't move, just stared at me, like he was waiting. I stepped aside. He came in. Nothing happened. We didn't even touch. But the silence was heavy, our breathing loud, the tension unbearable. Then he whispered, "I think about you every day." I froze. He looked at me, eyes full of regret and something else. I wanted to scream. I wanted to kiss him again. But I closed the door between us and locked it. Since then, I haven't slept. And I know he hasn't either. We're walking on the edge of a knife. And if we fall, everything breaks. I wish I could say I resisted, that I stayed strong. But that night, I opened the door again. And this time, we didn't stop. He kissed me, like he had been holding it in forever. I didn't fight it. I melted. I needed to feel wanted, to feel alive. We didn't speak. No promises. No lies. Just bodies. And all the guilt in the world. Afterward, we stared at the ceiling. I wanted to cry. He reached for my hand. But I pulled away. "This can't happen again," I whispered. He nodded, but didn't mean it. And I didn't believe myself either. The next morning, I couldn't look at myself. I avoided my sister. I held my son tighter than ever. And I prayed it was all just a mistake. But it wasn't. It happened again and again. Always in silence. Always in the dark. Always with guilt clinging to my skin like sweat. I was spiraling, losing myself. And the worst part? I was starting to crave the fall. She knows. She may not say it, but I see it in her eyes. Suspicion, confusion, pain, like she can sense something slipping away. She watches me now, more than before. Questions me about where I go, what I do, why I smile at random. And when I talk about her husband, her eyes narrow, even though she tries to hide it. One night, she asked, "Is there something you're not telling me?" I froze. My throat went dry, but I smiled, lied, and said, "Of course not." She stared for a moment longer, then looked away, but the silence between us screamed. I thought I could handle this. I thought I could manage the guilt. But now, I'm starting to lose her too. My sister, the one person who always loved me, believed in me. I'm destroying everything. For a man who isn't even mine. For a desire that's eating me alive. I see her crying when she thinks I'm not looking. And it breaks me, because I'm the reason. And I don't know how to stop. It all came crashing down. One message, one careless mistake, and everything shattered. She found it. A text I forgot to delete. Just 5 words. "I missed last night already." She didn't scream. She didn't cry. She just stared at me, like I was a stranger, like I was dead to her. He walked in seconds later, saw the phone in her hand, saw her face, and he knew. We both knew. She looked at him, then at me, and said one sentence I'll never forget. "You two deserve each other." She left, took her son, took her silence, took everything. I tried to run after her, to explain, to beg, but there was nothing to say, no defense, no excuse, only shame. And in that moment, I knew I had lost her forever. Days passed, then weeks. No calls, no visits, just emptiness. He moved out, said he needed space. I didn't argue. I didn't care, because what hurt the most wasn't losing him. It was losing her, my sister, my blood, my friend. I wrote her letters, deleted them, wrote again, but never sent them. I saw pictures of her and her son online, smiling, living, without me. I sat in the dark most nights, wondering if she'd ever forgive me, if I'd ever forgive myself. The house was silent, the air heavy, and my heart hollow. I chose desire over love, a moment over a lifetime, and now I live with the ruin of that choice. It's been 3 years. She never reached out, never forgave me. I see her sometimes from afar, at the park, at the grocery store, holding her son's hand, laughing. She's built a life without me, and I respect that. I don't intrude. I watch and disappear. As for him, gone. He moved across the country. Married again, I heard. He was never worth it. I know that now. I knew it then. But regret doesn't change the past. It only sharpens the pain. This is my story. My shame. My punishment. I betrayed my sister. For a man. For a moment. For a kiss I should have refused. I live with it every day. And I'll live with it forever. Some scars don't fade. Some bridges don't rebuild. Some mistakes cost everything. If I could go back, I would have closed the door that night. I would have stayed strong. But I didn't. And now, I carry the weight of that failure. Alone.